Hola chicos. Okay, in this video we are going to look at the contextual dialogue for May 2026, paper 2, Spanish, paper 2. So it says you and your coach are discussing an upcoming competition at which you plan to compete as a representative of your school. So you need to complete this dialogue between 80 to 100 words, and in it you must include excitement to participate in the competition, information about the competition, mention of fulfilling other commitments, discussion about your training schedule, assurance that you will do your best. So as usual, the first thing is to read the dialogue as it is, and you will get an idea of, the direction, maybe clarify some vocabulary, try to figure out words you don't know within the context. So you have to insert your responses, and the coach's responses are given to you. So it says, entiendo tu entusiasmo. Por supuesto, debes participar. Has pasado varios meses entrenando para este evento. A ver si sabes los detalles de esta competencia. ¿De qué se trata? So I understand your excitement. Of course, you can participate, or you should participate. You have spent a few months training for this event. Let's see if you know the details of the competition, what it's about. Perfecto, me estaba diciendo que necesitas algo para la competencia. ¿Qué quieres? Perfect. You were telling me that, or you were saying rather to me, or telling me that you need something for the competition. What do you want? Voy a comprarte estas cosas, no hay problema. Tus padres, claro, saben del evento. ¿Qué dicen? I'm going to buy you these things, no problem. Of course, your parents know about the event. What did they say, or what do they say? Estoy de acuerdo con el consejo de tus padres. Si no completas todo, no puedes participar. ¿Cuál es tu plan de acción? I agree with the advice of your parents. If you don't complete everything, you cannot participate. What is your plan of action? Vale, estoy de acuerdo con este plan. ¿Tienes otras preocupaciones? Good. Okay, I agree with this plan. Do you have any other concerns? No te preocupes. Siempre estoy aquí. Lo siento. Siempre estoy listo para entrenar contigo cuando quieras. Don't worry, I'm always ready to train with you when you want. Tú me dices cuando puedes y aquí estoy. You say when you are or when you can, and I'm here. Con mucho gusto, claro que si sigues nuestro plan, estoy seguro de que ganarás el primer puesto y todos estarán orgullosos de ti. With pleasure, of course, if you continue with our plan, or you follow our plan rather, I am sure that you will win the first place, and todos and everyone is going to be or will be proud of you. No hay duda de que ganarás. Tengo mucha fe en ti. There's no doubt that you will win. I have a lot of confidence or faith in you. It's also important now to highlight where the cues go, and of course, pay attention to when you are responding. Notice that there are question marks or exclamation marks that require certain exclamation or questions. So I would say the first one definitely would come here, the first cue, because you are expressing excitement, as he says, I understand your excitement. Then information about the competition, because he says what it is about, the information definitely starts here, right? Mentioning or fulfilling commitments. So over here it says, what do they say? And then of course you're talking about the plan of action. So mentioning commitments begin here. Moving on to the other one, discussion about your training schedule. So if you have any concerns, he is saying that I will train with you. So I guess the training could start somewhere here or over here. And then the last one over here would definitely be assurance that you will do your best. So you have an idea of where the cues go. That's very important. So let's attempt the dialogue to see how we can fill out this and for it to make sense. Of course, keeping within the word limit, right? So maybe I can start off by saying, estoy muy emocionado por, let me zoom in a little bit so the word doesn't look that big. por participar en la competencia. And I could just put, like, maybe if you want to put tennis, it's a sport competition, right? So I'll put atletismo. And este sábado, or actually not este sábado, because later on we have to talk about the training. So maybe next month, right? And the question, so here we can say, ¿piensas que o crees que yo puedo participar? Do you think that I can participate? So this is definitely asking the question in terms of participating, right? Because he then goes on to say, I understand your excitement. Of course, you should participate, right? Or even if you say, do you think that I should? Maybe here you could say debo as well. Debo participar. That can work here. Maybe you have spent a lot of, well, a few months training for this event. Let me see if you know the details of the competition. So what it is about. So maybe we could say is un, maybe we could say gracias, thank you. And then you could say, sí es un torneo. You could say es un torneo regional en el Estadio Nacional. We could say habrá muchos participantes o muchos atletas de otras escuelas. Or instead of regional, we could say nacional. And now we can say instead of other countries, I could say other schools. Right? Habrá muchos atletas de otras escuelas, pero necesito algo, right? But I need something. So that's when he's saying perfecto. You were saying that you need something for the competition. What do you want? So you could even say, pero necesito algo para la competencia. So then you can go on to say, sí, me gustaría, or you could just say yo necesito, right? Unos zapatos nuevos y una camiseta oficial con el logo de la escuela. Okay, so here we have excitement to participate in the competition, and we have information about the competition, right? So because we only had one space, I just left it's a national competition in the national stadium, or the national stadium, and there will be a lot of athletes from different schools, right? And that's all we could. Well, that's all we could say here because it moves on to talk about things that you need. So I guess that could also fall under, information about the competition. Just to clear this and rewrite it, Debo Right, so this is for the first part. Of course, you can take a screenshot. Moving on. So it goes on to say now, well, okay, I'm going to buy these things. There's no problem. Your parents know about the event, right? What they say. So you could say, claro que sí. So he give you opportunity now to add your muletillas, your fillers. Claro que sí, of course, right? They say, dicen que puedo participar, pero tengo que terminar todos mis proyectos, right? Mis proyectos escolares, or you could even put deberes escolares over here, y estudiar mucho para mis exámenes finales. So then he says, I agree with the advice of your parents. If you don't complete everything, you cannot participate, right? ¿Cuál es tu plan de acción? So now you can say something like, well, mi plan es, well, you can even start off with bueno. Mi plan es estudiar 2 horas cada noche y cumplir, we say cumplir con mis deberes antes de ir al campo, right? Okay. Let me think about another way that I can rephrase this for you all. I'm trying to keep everything simple, at least until you get the hang of it, right? So cumplir con basically means to fulfill. To fulfill, but I wanted to really say, maybe to finish my homework. So I'll put that to finish. Maybe we could say terminar mis deberes antes de ir al campo. So I'll finish all my homework or my assignments before going on the field. Okay, I agree with this plan. Do you have any other concern? So maybe you could say something like, sí, me preocupa, right? So it concerns me preocupa em, el horario, right? My schedule, concerns me, right? So maybe you could say, um, tengo muchas clases durante la semana. Entonces, yo puedo entrenar los sábados. So then he goes on to say, well, don't worry, I'm ready to train you when you want. Just tell me when, and I am there. So maybe we could say something like muchas gracias. Or even instead of saying los sábados, you could say los fines de semana, right? Muchas gracias. Um, and then you can say something like, podemos entrenar los sábados por la mañana. So can we train on Saturday morning? So he said, of course, well, con mucho gusto. Um, and I wanted to say something like, because he says, claro que sí, sigues nuestro plan. I am sure. So maybe you could say something like, um, te aseguro, right? Because he said, I am sure that you will win the first prize, right? If you follow our plan. So I te aseguro que voy a ganar. Maybe you could say something like this. I assure you that I'm going to win. And right, then it says, can you train on Saturdays or can we train on Saturdays? And then your response could be something like excelente. Right? Follow a plan. If you follow a plan, I am sure that you will win the first prize or first place and everyone will be proud. So you could say voy a trabajar o entrenar. O you could say trabajar duro. Voy a trabajar duro para traer la medalla o para ganar la medalla de oro. I am saying to bring the gold medal to our school, right? So if you want, you could say to win the gold medal, but I'm saying para traer la medalla de oro a nuestra escuela, right? I mean, we could add by saying lo prometo, like, promise this. So this is what we could say for this one. I just, again, in terms of the concern where it says tienes otras preocupaciones, says si me preocupa el horario, because we want to just go back to this part where it says mention fulfilling your commitments. So that's the assignment, your homework, etc. Discussion, your training schedule and assurance. So the training schedule here, I mean, it says discussion of your training schedule, but it did not give us too many opportunities to really talk about it. So when we mentioned this, we said something like, um, tengo muchas clases durante la semana, entonces I could only train on Saturdays. So then he said, well, no problem. Just let me know what you want. I'll be there. So he said, okay, yes, I assure you that I'm going to win. We can train on Saturdays in the morning time. So I think that would be sufficient enough to kind of tie up that cue. So here we have the words. We have met the word limit. Um, if perchance we go up above the 100 words, if you cross 110, you then start to remove things. So I would have shown you in previous videos how to remove things, right? You can remove one of the things like muy, mucho. You can remove some of the muletillas, all right? And these things will take away some words and you should be able to meet the word limit. So guys, this is it for the dialogue. I hope that this video helps you. Until then, until our next video, adios.